Dogs are incredible creatures, and if you've ever caught your furry friend tilting their head at you, staring deeply into your eyes, or nudging your hand with their nose, you've probably wondered, what are they trying to say? Welcome to the fascinating world of canine communication, where every wag of the tail and tilt of the head carries a hidden message. Today, we're uncovering the secret ways dogs communicate with us, and trust me, you'll never look at your pup the same way again. Prepare to laugh, learn, and possibly question if your dog knows more about you than you know about yourself. Dogs are master communicators, and one of their most subtle ways of talking to us is through their eyes. Ever heard of puppy dog eyes? Those big, soulful looks are not just for show. Studies reveal that when dogs lock eyes with us, they release oxytocin, the same hormone responsible for bonding between humans. It's their way of saying, "You're my person." But beware. Those same eyes are also their most effective manipulation tool. Ever given in to a treat request after one look? You're not alone. Dogs know exactly how to work their magic. Then there's the wagging tail. Most people think a wagging tail equals happiness, but that's only part of the story. The direction, speed, and height of the wag all tell a different tale. Pun intended. A high, stiff wag might mean they're feeling alert or unsure, while a low, slow wag usually signals submission or nervousness. And if their whole backside is wagging, that's the ultimate sign you've made their day. Think of it as the doggy equivalent of a full-body happy dance. Let's talk about barking. You might think barking is just noise, but to your dog, it's practically Shakespearean dialogue. A sharp, repetitive bark often means, "Hey, there's something out there," while a lower-pitched, slower bark could be their way of saying, "Stay back, I'm protecting my turf." And then there's the infamous excited bark, which translates roughly to, "Oh my gosh, you're home! You're home! You're home!" It's like getting a standing ovation every time you walk through the door. And what about those adorable nose boops? When your dog gently nudges you with their nose, it's not random affection, it's a form of bonding. Dogs use their noses to explore and connect with the world, and when they boop you, it's their way of saying, "Hey, I trust you." It's also a reminder that they'd really like some of whatever you're eating. Please and thank you. Body language is another biggie in the canine communication arsenal. If your dog is leaning into you, it's a sign of trust and affection. But if they're leaning away, they might be feeling unsure or uncomfortable. A playful bow, front paws down, tail wagging, is their way of inviting you to play. On the flip side, a stiff posture with a fixed stare could mean, "Back off, I'm not in the mood." Dogs speak volumes without ever saying a word. Have you ever noticed your dog mirroring your emotions? If you're feeling sad, they might rest their head on your lap or give you those sympathetic eyes. If you're excited, they might bounce around like they've had 3 cups of coffee. This isn't a coincidence, it's empathy. Dogs are tuned in to our emotional states in ways we're only beginning to understand. They're like little 4-legged therapists, always ready to comfort you or celebrate with you. And then there's the mysterious head tilt. Why do dogs do that? While we can't know for sure, experts think it's their way of trying to understand us better. By tilting their head, they adjust their ear positioning to catch sounds more clearly and focus on our facial expressions. Of course, it could also just be their way of making themselves look even cuter, and let's be honest, it works. Let's not forget about sniffing. Dogs have an extraordinary sense of smell, up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. When your dog sniffs you, they're gathering a wealth of information: where you've been, what you've eaten, and even your mood. Yep, they can smell your emotions. So next time your dog gives you a good sniff, remember, they know more about you than your therapist. And what's the deal with dogs bringing us random gifts, like socks, shoes, or even sticks from outside? It might seem strange, but this is their way of sharing. In a dog's mind, if they value something, you must too. So, when they proudly present you with a slobbery tennis ball or your own slipper, it's their version of saying, "I love you." Sure, it's not a bouquet of roses, but it's the thought that counts. Ever had a dog rest their head on your lap and just stay there? This isn't just a sign of affection, it's also a sign of dependence. By leaning on you, they're saying, "You're my safe space." It's an act of vulnerability and trust, and honestly, who can resist that level of devotion? Let's dive into the lesser-known quirks. Some dogs yawn when you yawn, not because they're tired, but because yawning is contagious even across species. It's a subtle way of showing they're connected to you. Others might mimic your routines, like getting excited when you put on your shoes, even if you're not leaving. They're so in tune with your habits that they make them their own. And have you ever noticed your dog acting clingy when you're sick or upset? Dogs have an uncanny ability to detect changes in our health, often before we notice them ourselves. They can sense shifts in body temperature, changes in our scent, or even pick up on subtle cues in our behavior. To them, being by your side isn't just loyalty, it's their way of protecting you. Dogs also have their own way of apologizing. If they've done something naughty, like chewing your favorite shoes, you might notice them avoiding eye contact or giving you those big, guilty eyes. It's not just a clever act, they genuinely want to make amends. In their world, reconciliation is key to maintaining the bond. Dogs have a way of making even the smallest actions feel monumental. Take their sneaky habit of watching you eat, for example. It's not just about the food, well, mostly it is. That longing gaze is also a test of your bond. They're asking, "Are we in this together?" Sharing a tiny piece of your snack feels like sealing a friendship pact. But remember, your dog isn't just watching your plate, they're watching you. It's like they've taken an oath to study every crumb and every move you make. Have you noticed how dogs always seem to be where you least expect them? Whether you're folding laundry, brushing your teeth, or trying to sneak a snack in the kitchen, there they are, ready to supervise. This isn't just curiosity, it's loyalty in action. To a dog, being near you is like clocking in for their daily shift as your personal bodyguard. Even if their idea of protection involves lying across your feet and accidentally tripping you. And what about that hilarious habit of flopping over for belly rubs at the most random times? Dogs have this unshakable belief that showing you their belly is the ultimate gesture of trust, and the most foolproof way to get your attention. For them, rolling onto their back is like shouting, "Hey, look at me, aren't I irresistible?" And honestly, who can resist that fluffy, unguarded charm? Let's talk about those mysterious midnight stares. Ever wake up to find your dog just sitting there, silently watching you sleep? It might feel a little eerie, but don't worry, they're not plotting your demise. To your dog, you're their entire world, and those quiet moments of observation are like them saying, "I love you so much, I don't even want to blink." It's both heartwarming and mildly creepy in the best way possible. Dogs also have an uncanny ability to pick up on the things you say, even when you don't mean to say them. Words like walk, treat, or vet are met with immediate reactions. But it's not just vocabulary they're learning. Dogs can detect the tone and rhythm of your speech, picking up on whether you're excited, frustrated, or just plain distracted. So when you're having a bad day and muttering to yourself, don't be surprised if your dog shows up, tail wagging, as if to say, "I heard everything, let's talk." And who can forget their dramatic sighs? When a dog lets out a deep, exaggerated sigh, it's their way of channeling all the emotions they can't verbalize. Maybe you didn't throw the ball as many times as they wanted, or you've spent too long staring at your phone instead of playing with them. That heavy huff? It's basically their version of, "I can't even with you right now." The dramatics are real, and somehow they still make us laugh every time. In the end, dogs are masters of nonverbal communication. They've spent thousands of years evolving alongside humans, learning to interpret our gestures, tones, and emotions. Their ability to talk to us without words is a testament to the unique bond we share. So, the next time your dog stares at you, wags their tail, or gives you a gentle nudge, take a moment to listen. You might just understand what they're saying. Did you find yourself smiling or nodding along while watching this? If so, give your dog an extra belly rub. They've definitely earned it. And if you're as fascinated by the secret language of dogs as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because who knows? Your dog might be trying to tell you something right now.